All right, so we are now in day 2 of the boot camp, and I'm glad you guys made it back. I generally do want to see the same people returning and returning and returning, because I promise you, at the end of this course, at the end of this program, at the second day, you will know how to make money, and that's the biggest step. But I just kind of want to go over in this video, or this day, is how to put yourself in a position to succeed with creators and sales, right? Because keep in mind, you're doing sales right now. Sales requires a lot of grit work in terms of who you are as a person, and then in terms of like where you're working, right? But I want to get into the nitty gritty part of, like, becoming a better version of yourself. Just know that sales, it's the one business model that defines all guarantees and certainties of life, right? When you look at college, getting a regular job, minimum wage job, an hourly job, those are all guarantees, right? You're guaranteed to make $15 an hour. You're guaranteed a degree. You're guaranteed a job, but it might not, be at the level potentially you want in life. With sales, there's no guarantee how much money you can make, right? Yes, you have a set outcome depending upon your skill set. It's never guaranteed, right? Even in terms of talking to people, actually doing sales, you have to generally change people's mindsets. But the thing is, before you can do that to anybody else, you need to become a better version of yourself, right? Now, what does that mean? That means learning how to be uncomfortable, right? Accepting doubt, accepting uncertainty, right? In a sense, taking that risk, because you could be in sales and you can make no money. You could be in sales, you can make a lot of money. Again, it all breaks down to who you are as a person. And I will say, the biggest thing for me, getting into sales was just, the first step was accepting the level of uncomfortability. Like, you have to talk to people, right? You have to challenge people on their opinions, their thoughts, their belief system. And that's not something easy, right? But once you learn how to do that and you learn how to become comfortable within doing that, I promise you, it then becomes comfortable. Because keep in mind, you're not a sales rep, you're not a closer, you're not a setter, you're a you're a mental therapist, right? You are helping people with their problems, emotions, thoughts, and, offering them a solution. And that's not easy work, right? To change someone's mind, it's not easy work. But again, to do that for somebody else, you have to be that person that can do it. So for me personally, things that I've done in my life to help me get to where I am today, right? Making $40K a month, doing sales alone, no other stream of income, just by doing sales. I learned to accept that my role in this is to help people, right? For example, if you're selling a fitness coaching program, an offer or a program on how to make money, understand that these people have issues in their life, right? They have issues in their own life. Fuck, it's cold. But they have issues in their own life, and they're obviously on this call looking for solutions and help, right? Are you that person who's going to be qualified enough, credible in a sense, to offer help? Yes or no? And if you are saying no, then why? Look back at it. Reverse engineer who you are and why you can't help this person, and then you will solve a lot more problems. Because I promise you, the one thing about sales, it will teach you a lot about yourself, who you are as a person, right? The way you could interact, and, your level of emotional intelligence. Because EQ, it definitely is a huge thing when it comes to sales, right? Emotional intelligence, having to understand people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, right? That's not easy. So in terms of how to put yourself in the best position to succeed, get uncomfortable. Accept uncertainty. Don't live in the doubt, but use the doubt as a sort of fuel. Because when you have doubt in yourself, that means there's something else limiting your belief, right? If I say, I'm never going to play soccer because I think if I played soccer, I would be the worst one on the field, right? So this level of self-doubt that I have in my mind, it's restricting me from what? From trying soccer, from even attempting to play it. So this self-doubt that we always have as humans, it's necessarily, in a sense, false. It's false hope, because what if this isn't true? Because as humans, we doubt ourselves when it comes to something new, right? So if you think to yourself, I'm never going to play soccer because I'm going to be the worst one, ultimately after 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, you're never going to play soccer. So that self-doubt that you had, inherently it was false, but it became true over time because you made it true, right? And then what I mean when I say is, like, accept doubt or use it as fuel. I'm scared to play soccer because I think I'm going to be ass, but even, you know what? I'm going to go attempt it. I'm going to go apply myself. I'm going to go try to be the best one at it. Over time, after 3 months, I probably sucked my first 3 months. After 6 months, I'm getting better. After 9 months, a year, that false hope, that self-doubt that I had stays false, because I defined the odds against it, right? It was all self-doubt. It's all self-doubt. And the thing is, as a person, to be more confident, right? As humans, you need to challenge yourself. That's how you become more confident. And where is confidence? Confidence comes from, a stack of undeniable evidence, right? You need to have evidence to have confidence, because if you don't have evidence and you have confidence, where is this confidence coming from? It's coming from your ego. Now, I'm not saying that ego is a bad thing, but ego could be your best friend or your worst nightmare, right? Because we'll put it in two people. The person that has no experience, no evidence, has the most confidence. Over time, he tries to apply himself in positions where he know he couldn't, but since he was talking out of his ego, he put himself in spots where he couldn't succeed because he couldn't handle what he was dealing with, right? The person with the confidence and with the evidence, he could then apply himself and put himself in different spots or situations of life and actually succeed, right? So there's nothing wrong with having an ego, but it's the fact that you need to have confidence. But you need to have confidence rooting down from somewhere in your life, and that's evidence. How do you build evidence? By accepting the doubt that you have in your mind, working against it. I had this doubt, I had this challenge, and I overcome it. That's one piece of evidence. So when it comes to you specifically, even in every aspect of your life, if you want to see it in every aspect of your life, understand that there's going to be things in life that you think you can't overcome, things that you think you just can't handle. And right, you could be two people. The one that says, I think I can't do it, but I'm going to try and attempt myself. And then after 6 months, you're like, yo, I did it. I did it, right? Or you could be a person that says, oh, you know what? I probably can't do it. I'm not going to do it. 6 months, maybe a year later, you're still in the same spot of your life. So that's what it all breaks down to, right? Like, I don't want to give you guys a whole motivational speech, but it really all falls back on you. Your outcome, your output is a reflection of your input. If you're not happy with where you are in life, look back at your life. Look back at what you were doing, things you were doing, and that's why you were not happy. You're not happy because of the outcome you got. You're not happy. You're not happy because of the outcome you have. You're not happy because of the results or the input or effort you have been putting in. That's why you're not happy. Because again, if I was to say, put in all the work, all right, I'm going to restart it. If you're not happy with the output that you're getting, the results you're getting, it's not that you're not happy because of the results. You're not happy because of the input you're putting in. That's why you're not happy, right? Because if I put in the best amount of work and I still did not get the results that I wanted, I'm okay with that. That's me personally, because of the fact that I know there's a flaw in my system that I have to fix. Now, where is that flaw? Again, that's you. That's your job as a human to figure out where the areas of your life, are coming from. But when it comes to sales specifically, to put yourself in the best position to actually succeed within sales, it's all about finding out what works, what doesn't. Right now, throughout this entire boot camp, I'm going to break down every aspect of sales, right? Tying into human psychology. But logistically speaking, to put yourself in the best position, have a laptop, have a pen, have a notebook, and take notes to what I'm telling you, because it's not only going to help you make more money, it's going to help you become a better man, a better woman. Now, again, I don't know what your goals are for your own life, but if it's to be the best version of yourself, again, you don't have to take my advice, but the advice that I'm giving you, I promise you, if you take it in the right way, it's only going to help you become a better person. Because I promise you, when it comes to sales, it's a game that defines, or I keep saying defines, that just goes against all odds. There's no guarantee. There's no certainty in sales, right? And that's one thing you're going to learn throughout it all, is that you have to be the best version of yourself, because every outcome you get, every time you get paid, all the results you get are a direct reflection of who you are. That's all it is. I don't want to make this too long, but again, to put yourself in the best position to succeed when it comes to sales is learning to understand how people feel, how people think, why they think this way. Because again, these people, they're not making decisions, logically. Sometimes they do. Some are. You'll understand that later on. But a lot of them are speaking and making decisions based off their own emotions, right? For example, if someone wanted to make money and they want to learn trading, they're not going to go hop on a call with someone to teach them trading because they want an M5, because they want a new car, they want to go on trips. They're hopping on that call to learn more about trading and getting help with trading to make more money because they hate their life. They don't like where they are at that current position of life, and they want to change that. And that's where it's your job to understand, what are they going through? Why do they want to change? What stopped them in the past from changing? And why is now just the right time to finally put your foot in the sand and commit to something, right? You have to understand human psychology. Sales all ties back down to human psychology. I've had a 3-hour sales call, right? Having a genuine conversation with somebody, and I posted on my Instagram a clip of it. And the one thing he kept telling me was, I love how you listen to me. I love how you understand me. I love how you can make me laugh. I love how you just let me speak, and this doesn't feel like a sales script, because it's not. It's a genuine conversation of finding out where this person wants to be, what's held them back, what's wrong now, and why now though? Because if you felt this for the past 2 years, why change today, right? Why break that pattern in your own life? And that you could only understand that when you know human psychology. But to know more about others, to learn more about others, to get information out of other people, you need to know how to do that with yourself, right? Because you can't help somebody. You can't pour into a cup from an empty pitcher. Right now, you are that empty pitcher, right? You can't pour in a cup. There's nothing in there for you to fill. So it all breaks down. It all comes back again to you becoming the best version about yourself. And that's one thing you will know. Throughout sales, you will know more about yourself, about other people, and how business works. But I'm excited to keep making these videos. I'm excited for, day 3, day 4, day 5. I mean, I want to see all of the results that you guys have to show. I'm going to make a community, a free community for the people that are watching the program, that are watching the boot camp, because I want you guys to all get in a community with each other and help one another. Because that's the one biggest thing too, when it comes to sales, is that your network also defines who and how successful you're going to be. So I definitely do want to make a free community for you guys too as well, just so you guys have that, have other people to practice with, ask questions, and again, build a network of people similar in your age with the same goals, that want the same thing in life. Because I promise you, when you're around the same people that want the same thing as you, and there's another group of people that you don't want to be with or don't want to be like, and you're with them or the other group, out of these two groups, who do you think you would be more successful in? The group of people who are like-minded individuals. And I want you guys to have that, and that's going to be in the works. It's probably not going to come out for another week because I really want to perfect it, but I really want you guys all to be in a tight-knit community where I'm going to be there as well, and just give out free value, free sauce, because there's a bunch of bullshit online that people are being lied to on about. And as someone who has been from nothing to, I don't want to say everything now, but in a better position in life, I want to give back, because I know how it feels. It sucks knowing that you don't know what to do with your life. It sucks knowing that you want all these things in life, but you don't know how to get it. And then again, you scroll on social media, you get fed lies, bullshit, scams, and it sucks. So I want to get rid of all that, and I want to give you guys a clear path to success. And again, this might not apply to everyone else, right? You might watch the whole boot camp and sales just might not be your thing. And that's normal. But if you are someone who thinks that talking to people, becoming better than yourself is what you want to do, then this is the best thing for you. And I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for supporting me on my YouTube account. I want to thank you for watching the videos. And I want to thank you for taking that chance in yourself of, spending your time here, listening and understanding, to only become a better version of yourself. Because ultimately, that's the goal in life, right? To just become the best version of ourselves. And I would be blessed, I would be honored to be a part of that for even individuals who I don't know. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to die, right? We're all going to die. At least if I could die knowing that I helped other people in their lives, that's going to make me feel a lot better, because I can't bring anything with me when I die. I can't bring my friends, my family, my money, the cars I'm going to have in the future. I can't bring any of that. But if I could die knowing that, I gave people more clarity, more certainty on their life, I gave people hope in their life, that's all that matters to me. And that is the one thing that I mentioned. If you want to go even look at it as well, if you go on my TikTok, Hakeem, it's just Hakeem, HAK1M on my TikTok. My first video, it's pinned, I think it has 10K views right now. It's in my car, it's dark. It's like a 3-minute video. And I made that on December 30th or the 29th, where I spoke about my journey. And when I made that video, that was before I got into the online space. That was me talking out of my own, genuine heart about what I want to do with social media. And, making this video feels surreal to me that I'm now in a position where I can make a video like this, right? Because back then when I first started, I couldn't make a video like this. Who's gonna watch it? Who's gonna listen to me? Who's gonna trust me? But now I have that, and I'm blessed, and I can't thank God more than enough, and I can't thank my past self for, again, accepting that uncertainty, for accepting the doubt and using it as fuel, and for accepting uncomfortability, because I promise you, when I first started my journey, I did not think it was gonna work out. But I took that challenge. When I made my first 22K month in June, 3 months into this, I still had doubts about, was this going to work out? No matter what point you are in life, you're always going to have doubts, right? Whether you're broke making 5K a month, you're probably going to think, fuck, am I going to make another 5K next month, right? You're having that doubt, and there could be someone in another timeline, somewhere else in the world, who's making $1 million a month. And he's having the doubts of, yo, am I even going to make $1 million a month again? Am I even going to do this again? Doubt is normal. Everyone's going to have doubt. No matter where or what position you are in life, doubt's always going to be there. It's always going to be there, but that's going to separate you and everyone else because you took that doubt, used it as fuel, had a challenge in your face, and accomplished it. And now you have evidence. You have undeniable evidence that only boosts your confidence to become and do what? Do more with your life. And that is the whole ultimate goal of this program, of this boot camp, and of life, to become the best version of yourself. And I'm probably just yapping over now. My feet are cold, and I'm cold as fuck because I'm somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in a forest doing this for you guys, because I figured that if I go somewhere by myself, right, I could be more delegated and more locked into it, and that's really what I want to do. But long story short, if you want to put yourself in the best position possible to succeed, learn more about yourself, right? Learn what you can't or can do, and figure out how to knock out the can'ts and make them cans, right? And in terms of sales, logically speaking, how to put yourself in the best position to succeed, build a network that I'm going to build out for you guys. Learn. One thing you will know about sales is that there's no end goal to it in terms of education. You're always going to get a different response. You're always going to talk to somebody else with a different story, with different problems, with different goals, right? So just learning as much as you can, writing down what you know, right? Doing things you never did before by reading a book, watching an educational video. It's about doing different things, because in the past, who knows, 1 year of your life, let me ask you a question. Are you happy with where you are today in your life? If it's a no, look back on what you have been doing for the past 3 years of your life, your 2 years, 1 year. What have you been doing in the past year? The same shit, right? Whether it's smoking, going out, drinking, being comfortable, you have been doing the same shit in your life, right? So if you want different results, if you want a different outcome in your life, what do you have to do? You have to do something different, because if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. So again, to just get different results, be different, right? And being different is accepting uncomfortability, because most people accept comfortability, but most people will not accept uncomfortability, and that's being different. And you watching this until the very end, at the 19th minute mark, the average attention span is maybe less than 30 seconds, and you thugged it out till this point of the video. And that just only goes to show that you are putting yourself, again, today, right now, in a better position to succeed. And I promise you, at the end of this boot camp, you will know more about yourself, you'll live a better life, and you'll make a lot more money. So I'm glad I can make this. I know I probably rambled on for no reason, but God bless you all. God loves you. Make 2026, your year where you're not doing the same shit again. And if you made it to this point of the video, comment down below literally anything. But I look forward to day 3, and bye-bye. God bless you guys.